Hey everybody, Nancy here from American Pet Professionals. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to our final episode, episode 43 of Digging into the Pet Industry. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. So wherever you are watching from, thank you so much for watching. And if you're listening to a future podcast episode, thank you for listening in. Today, I am super excited to bring in APP member Anne Greenberg of A Pet with Paws.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi,
How are you?
Anne. I'm good. So good to see you. Sorry, everybody, we're a couple of minutes late. A little tech issues. Anne, it's so good to see you. And I just saw you in New York City a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. It's wonderful to see you, and thanks so much, Nancy, for having me on your show.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for people to hear your story because I think it's pretty fascinating. So, on digging into the pet industry, we do like to take a step back and dig in. So, let's start back a bit with how you started your career. What did you do before the pet industry?
So, I was involved in the fashion industry, designing and developing women's clothing, specifically knitwear, sweaters. And I would travel to Europe and get ideas, and then I would go to China and manufacture the samples and then the production. And the industry at, I guess, around, I don't know, 25 years ago or so, it began consolidating
Oh,
and, with stores and everything. And when I was in Europe, I also noticed that they seemed to be promoting organic cotton jeans. And at that same time, I began to hear a buzz about eco-friendly fabrics.
yep.
So I decided that I wanted to develop organic cotton and recycled polyester gift bags and cosmetic bags and gift with purchase items for natural and organic skincare companies.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, you were ahead of the times.
Yes, that's sometimes,
Yeah.
it's not so good to be so ahead of the time.
It's not as easy.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
right. So I actually went to China, and I worked with one of the first factories that took the melted down plastic bottle, which then became and looked like a cotton puff. And they would, excuse me, they would put it on the needle bed, and then they would extrude the fiber, ply it into yarn, and weave it into
Wow.
fabric,
And you
which
probably were standing there with your mouth
I
hanging
was. I
open
mean, I
watching
have
that. Yeah.
photos. I have photos of all of this.
Wow.
And then the fabric would be sent to different places, to be made into handbags, or I made them at that time into the cosmetic pouches. But what I noticed is that a lot of the organic and natural skincare companies were not that open to using these
Hmm.
new materials. Some
That's
were,
interesting. Yeah.
but a lot of the larger companies were not. And I couldn't understand how they felt okay and in alignment to use PVC plastic,
Yeah.
which is very toxic,
Yeah.
for their cosmetic pouches.
Hmm.
So I became a bit disillusioned with that. So
Yeah.
I decided that I was going to start a handbag company, and which I did. It was called the Underground Chic, and it only used organic cotton, fabric made from recycled plastic bottles, and vegan leather.
Wow. And what
And,
year was that you did that? Because that's like I said, you were so far ahead
right.
of yeah.
So I think that was in 2012, 14, 15, something like that. And
Okay, okay.
yes, I was ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
and people would look at the bags and they would really like them, but they sort of didn't quite understand that these are eco-friendly materials. They're much better for the planet.
Right.
This way, you can contribute to doing your part and all of that.
Right.
So I had the handbag company, and I noticed that my stepdaughter Karen was carrying her beautiful cat Madison in what I considered a very unattractive pet carrier.
Well, yeah, you would have that eye, right? Being a fashion designer.
Right? Because Madison was beautiful Bowman cat.
Okay.
So I wanted to expand my business, and I thought, well, wait a minute, I can modify my handbag and make it into a pet carrier.
So
And
wait, your stepdaughter brought her cat over, and
no, I was visiting her.
Okay.
Okay, because my husband, lives part of the time in Philadelphia and part of the time
Okay.
here in New York. So I was visiting Karen, and I had my handbag and my cosmetic pouches, and I saw her with Madison in
This
what I
ugly
said
bag.
was an unattractive, bulky carrier.
Right.
And I thought, well, wait a minute, I can take my handbag,
Yeah.
modify it, make it larger, make it more supportive on the bottom, have, more features for ventilation, etc. So it could become a pet carrier.
So Madison was your muse, right? Yeah.
Madison, absolutely.
So was it in that moment that you were like the light bulbs were going off?
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
That was my aha moment. I
Yeah.
figured, okay. And I also was doing research at the same time,
Okay.
about what was available in the pet industry.
Right.
And I
Right.
noticed that there seemed to be a void of, excuse me, very fashionable yet sustainable pet carriers. So I wanted to create pet carriers that looked like handbags,
Yeah.
functioned like a pet carrier.
Yeah. So that's so cool. I love that it started with Madison the cat, because I know there's a lot of cat products out there, but when it comes to a pet carrier, it doesn't necessarily seem like you would start that with it because of a cat. Usually we think dog, right?
Right.
And you were like, that carrier is not nice enough
Right. For
for
Madison.
Madison. That's so cool. I know a lot of people that are cat aficionados would love this story. So that I love that. So when was that you were like, okay, I'm going to add pet carriers to my line? Like, when
So
did that actually start?
so that started in 2017.
Okay.
2017.
Okay.
And that's when I created
Yes, show and tell, please.
this.
That's the
This is
original?
the Madison pet carrier.
Wow.
So what it is,
Beautiful.
it's a photo printed image on fabric made from recycled plastic bottles.
Yeah.
And excuse me. And it okay. And but it looks like a leather handbag,
It does.
but it's, your eye is tricked so that it's really not. When you look
Yeah.
closely, you see that it's a printed image on fabric made from recycled plastic.
I remember when I first met you
Right.
and I was looking, I was like, oh, these are beautiful. And then I picked it up and I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
Because it totally looks like a real leather bag. And then you were telling me the process, the yarn, about the bottles. And I
Right.
was just kind of like mind blown. I was like, this is incredible. Like, I know they make a lot of things with recycled plastic, but that was the last thing I was expecting, is this luxurious handbag for
Right.
a carrier. So that was your very first product. And how did you like come up with additional ideas after the
Okay.
Madison?
So remember, I had a handbag company, but I also made cosmetic pouches. So I took my cosmetic pouch, I shortened it, put an eyelet in the back,
Right.
and made it my waist bag pouch.
Fancy instead of the way they normally look.
Correct. And then I was also making crossbody bags. So I took the crossbody bag and I made it into a very stylish training bag with the ball,
Yeah.
the poop bags, a room for the treats, and
Yes.
then a place for the phone and credit cards.
I know a lot of people who would love one of those who walking their dog would like to
Right,
have something stylish versus, something that's not so stylish.
right. So that's what I love about A Pet with Paws is
Yeah.
that I love taking making everything look much more fashionable.
Mhm.
I because I come out of the fashion industry, so I'm always seeing what's happening in the fashion industry and how can I translate it and apply it
Right.
excuse me, in the
To
pet
pet.
market.
Yeah.
And the premise actually of A Pet with Paws is to come up and develop product solutions to make life a lot more comfortable for pet owners and their pets. So we all know how pets are now part of the family
Mhm.
and everybody likes to travel with their pets. So then I developed the Pet Trek, which is a 4 spinner wheel folding trolley that moves in any direction like 4 spinner wheel luggage and works with all of the carriers.
So, Anne, we did not prep for this, but that was my next question about the wheels. How did your brain go from having the carrier over your shoulder,
Okay,
maybe a heavier dog in there, to the
right.
wheels? How did that
Okay.
happen?
All right. So I knew that there were, well, first of all, as I said, I love 4 spinner wheel luggage.
Mhm.
I mean, it's much easier to
Yeah,
transport your suitcase, right? When it's 4 spinner
100%.
wheels.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, wait, if it's easier to transport, and there also used to be those, carts with the bungee cords,
Oh, yeah.
right? So I figured, well, wait, maybe I can, and then they were only 2 wheels. And since I like 4 spinner wheel luggage, I thought, okay, I will take, maybe the factories will help me develop and change these 2 wheel carts into 4 spinner wheels. So I
Okay.
went to China and I worked with the factory to develop the Pet Trek, the 4 spinner wheel folding trolley. Excuse me. And when I first introduced it, I saw Dr. Marty Becker, who's a well-known
Yeah.
veterinarian, and he was very happy that I developed this because he explained that when a pet is in a 2 wheel carrier and they're being tilted backwards,
Yeah, it doesn't look
it's
comfortable.
it's very it's it's very uncomfortable and anxiety provoking for them.
Yeah.
That when they're lying now in a horizontal position, which they're much more comfortable and familiar with, it's much better for them.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I've seen some pet carriers where I'm like, I don't know if the animal looks very comfortable in
Right,
that, right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's how I developed the Pet Trek.
Wow. And
And
what year was that? So you had the bag, the accessories.
so I think that might have been in 2018 or 19.
Okay, so not that long ago. I remember when
Right,
you launched that as well,
right,
because you were
right,
showing me, I think, at Global or other
right,
events. You were at
right,
our event that we
right.
had. So that's pretty cool. And that makes it just so much easier, right? Because not everybody can carry, if you have a 20-pound dog or cat in there, it's heavy.
It's very heavy. Oh my god,
Yeah.
even my girlfriend had a 10-pound Maltese,
Yeah.
and carrying around Bentley was very heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting. And I've seen a lot of the dogs in those, in your, the little, and they're like, just hanging
Right.
out in there, watching everything, kind of makes it a little bit easier as if they were walking. It also helps if you have a dog that is, has mobility challenges, right? So if
Exactly.
you want to bring your
For
dog with you and can't
right,
go on a longer walk.
right, for senior dogs or whatever, yes.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
for older people who, or whoever has, shoulder or back problems,
Mhm.
it eliminates and takes care of those issues.
So how many different type of products do you have now? I know you have a few different lines.
I have, well, I do denim. I have used recycled or upcycled denim, and
Okay.
to make, I have 2 pet carriers, a training bag, and a pouch, of course. So it all works together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I have what I call the Tiffany. It's a quilted pet carrier with 2 front pockets that's sort of reminiscent of, with threaded chain handles, so it looks like a Chanel bag.
Okay.
And then I also did the same carrier, and I did it in printed leopard.
Okay.
And then also in camouflage, but then I have vegan leather handles.
So I know it's important to you to be eco-friendly and vegan, but can you tell me why that's so important to you with your products?
Because well, when you look at the ocean and you see
Mm,
it filled with plastic bottles,
yeah.
right? And then you hear about the fish that are eating
Yep.
some of the plastic from the bottle. It's like,
Heartbreaking.
it is.
Yeah. And then
Absolutely.
then you're eating the plastic if you're eating those fish too, right?
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just so I think that everybody just needs, if everybody makes a small effort,
Yeah.
right, it becomes a huge effect,
Yeah, I
an
agree.
impact. So everybody can just do their part. And so this is why it's important to me.
Yeah, I love that. I agree with you. I'm so, grew up on an island near the water, always out on a boat or at the beach. So
Hmm.
seeing any kind of pollution that is not biodegradable, like a plastic bottle or plastic bag, you end up picking it up, and disposing of
Right.
it properly because it's frustrating. So I love that you do that. It's really great. I also really like that you have different styles for different people, right? Maybe somebody doesn't want the fancy bag, but they
Right.
want the
Exactly.
leopard print, right? So a little
Right.
more fun. So
Right. Or they're, more earthy or whatever, and they
right.
want denim.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And the upcycled denim. I mean, how much denim, if you ever go into a thrift store, I mean, the denim
Right.
aisle is out of control. So that's a really great way that you're changing that and making it into. So how long does it take you to go from like an idea of a product to like it being on market?
Um, okay, so it actually, part of it depends on how cooperative the factories are with me.
Yeah.
So, like during COVID, it was very difficult
Mm,
for me because I'm used to going to China. I'm very hands on. I like to be there when they're making the samples, and I like to be there when they're doing the inspection. And I was not able to do that during COVID.
yeah.
So when I was developing some new items, we had to send everything back and forth and use, video conferencing. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people that went through that. That was difficult as well.
But actually, now I've just developed, I was very fortunate because one of the factories that I'm working with, it's actually a handbag factory.
Okay.
And so they're very supportive of me. And, my carriers, I like to I'm influenced by what's going on in fashion.
Right.
And like right now, what's happening in fashion is there's a lot of silver, gold, and
Mhm.
bling. So
Uh-oh.
here we go. So this is new. I'm launching this on Digging into the Pet.
Woohoo! I
So
love it.
this
I think
is
this is our
okay.
first product launch.
Right. So this is, I
Oh,
don't know if
that's
you
so
can see.
pretty.
So
Yeah.
it's just a quilted, but it has the rhinestone buckles and the
So pretty.
pocket.
That's nicer than my handbag, I can tell you that.
Okay. So then, since silver is important, Here is
Ooh,
a tote.
that's beautiful.
A
I love
tote.
that.
I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
right?
And the head pops out there. Yep.
Right, exactly. And
Wow.
then I just did this is a sling. Whoop, a
Oh, okay.
sling,
That's so
and it
pretty
comes in
too.
gold and black.
Wow.
And
You could
but
use that as a pocketbook when your
well, my
dog's
friends
not
have
in it.
seen that, and that's what they said.
Yeah. So that
Uh,
also lends me to the next question. With all these beautiful designs that you just showed us, are you still doing anything for humans? Are you still creating any kind of handbags for
no,
humans? No. Okay. All right. You're all
no.
pet. You're all in. I love it. I love it.
No, I prefer the pet industry,
Mhm.
um, over the fashion industry.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The people in the I was actually amazed at how people in the pet industry are willing to help one another.
Yes. Absolutely.
People in the fashion industry are not necessarily like
I
that.
can see that. Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Those are beautiful. I can see those being really great holiday gifts. Are they available now?
Yes, actually, I am just getting in my production.
Oh, exciting.
So, the production is coming in this week. So,
Okay.
yes, they're going up on the website right now, or
So
they're
how
on.
long did it take for you when you decided with the bling and you're paying attention to the fashion to launch those?
So that took, let me think, because I had this idea for a while,
Okay.
and then, I guess it took, let me think a second.
A
I think I
year?
sent over my sketches in, um, June, maybe? Yeah, in June or a little bit,
Oh, so
right?
June
In
of this year?
June of this
Oh, so
year.
that's a pretty good turnaround time. I know you've been at it for a
Because
while.
I had the factory was very, and then I
Yeah.
went and I told the factory, "I'm coming to China in July,
Yeah.
and need the samples completed so that I can correct them."
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because there's always those corrections. I hear that from all of our pet product manufacturers, wherever they're
Yep.
getting their products made. It's always they sent this wasn't fixed right. So, you have chutzpah to go over there. I love that because you're like, this is my product, and it'll get out on the market a lot faster for doing that instead of waiting for the things to be
Well,
shipped.
that's what you
Yeah,
as and I mean, oh my god, look what happened during COVID. I mean, it was
yeah, yeah. It was
very
terrible.
frustrating.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yep.
that's so exciting. Well, congratulations on your new line that you launched. Our first product launch. We didn't plan this, but I love
And
it.
that
On
but I
digging into
thought,
the
why
pet
not,
industry.
right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm so happy that the production is, like, coming in. It's, like, in the air. It'll be here in,
That's
like, a
so
day or 2.
exciting. So let me ask you this. What does the biggest size cat or dog fit into your carriers? Are they all the same size or do you have different sizes?
No, I have, the Madison comes in 2 sizes. It's
Okay.
16 inches and 18 inches,
Okay.
and all of the pet carriers are airline compliant.
Okay.
So,
Great.
and the weight, um, it'll hold it supports the weight of 20, 22
Okay.
pounds, if somebody wants to carry that, but the Pet Trek will can handle up to, like, 35 pounds or more
Okay.
because it's made in a luggage factory.
Right, right. Well, that's good to know. Okay, so here's my challenge for you.
Okay.
My dog is 72 pounds, so he's not gonna fit in any carrier. And I'm probably not gonna put him on a plane anytime soon. But seeing all your beautiful designs, I'm like, I love Cody's coat, but maybe if Anne comes up with something
Well,
fashionable.
I could, you and Cody could definitely, when you always go for walks with Cody.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
So
curious, is
I'll send you a training bag.
is fashion ever a like pet fashion, like apparel, not necessarily the carrier? Is that ever on a thought process of your mind, or you're just gonna stick to the carriers?
No, I don't want to diversify too much
Okay.
because also remember, I have to buy all my inventory.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. And it's
So
smart because that's what you're known for. But seeing all that sparkly stuff, I'm like, it's so pretty. Maybe I could get one of those for Cody in like a dark gray. He could wear some rhinestone. Most people think he's a girl dog anyway because he's so pretty. So it doesn't really matter.
and oh my god, and you know how I love Cody.
I know, I know. Well, listen, that's amazing that you go over to China, you get your stuff done. I think for anybody watching, that's a really good tip. And not everybody has the wherewithal to do that, but it might be something that will really help your business to be there in the factory. If it's in China, if it's here, wherever, it doesn't matter. To be on top of them, because I think that being the designer, waiting for stuff to come in, that will delay your launch of a
Mhm.
new product, and it could be months and months and months. And I know COVID was a whole nother beast, but just in general, I give you so much credit for that. So that's a really great takeaway. So, what are your goals for the new year with a pet for Paws? I know you have a new line, but is there anything specific that you're thinking for 2024?
Well, I wanna grow the business.
Yeah,
I mean, basically, that's my goal.
yeah.
I wanna grow the business.
That's a good goal. I think we
Mhm,
all have that goal.
mhm.
And what stores can pet parents find your products in addition to your website? Are you in a lot of retail stores?
I'm in well, here it's like, Pet Pantry Warehouse. I used to be in, a lot of the, Wolfgang Bakery
Okay,
stores,
I can see that.
but
Yeah.
I think they're cutting back on how many carriers now they want to,
Hmm. Yeah.
allow in the store, and they're focusing more on the food.
What advice would you give to somebody that is thinking of launching a line of pet products? It doesn't have to be carriers, like any kind of
No.
pet product.
So, I mean, well, first of all, you have to be passionate and love your idea.
Yeah.
And then you need to do research to make sure that it doesn't already exist.
Yes.
Or if it exists, if there's a way that you can modify it to make it more unique and special.
Yeah. I love that. That's such great advice. The research part is key.
Oh, it's absolutely key.
Yeah, because you never wanna tell anybody, "Oh, that's already done," right? You never
Right.
wanna, like, deflate anybody, but you wanna give them maybe some additional help, so that research part is super, super important. So, when it comes to your pet parents using your carriers for the first time, what kinda tips can you give them to get a pet acclimated to a pet carrier?
Well, it's important for them. Well, it's interesting. I mean, some pets just jump right into the carrier.
Yeah,
And but I have the way my carriers are constructed, there's a double zip mesh opening. So and the top is opens and it's totally mesh. So it's totally open. So it makes it very inviting for a pet, a cat or a dog
okay.
to just walk right in.
Yeah.
And especially if you put a little treat
Mhm.
inside, then it makes it very inviting for them, and then they're making the initiative. They're taking the initiative,
Mhm.
and then they see, "Oh, this is kinda cozy, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
safe, and I feel
right.
comfortable."
Yeah, I think that's so true because, like, you'll hear people talking about crate training, and I'm like, most pets, especially dogs, they if you introduce them the right way, they actually like the crate because of
Mhm.
those things. So I could see that same thing with the carriers, that they would really like to go in there and feel comfy and cozy, and heck, they don't have to walk. you
But
know, they
also, a lot of, people who I've sold carriers to, I mean, they just leave them on the floor and their pet just hangs out in there.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 I could see that too, definitely. And I think those are so pretty that most people won't even notice that there's a pet inside the carrier, right? They see that pretty bag and they're thinking, "Oh, that bag is so pretty," but they're not realizing until they pop their head out through that little hole or actually
Right.
go and realize there's mesh there. That's really cool. In terms of customer feedback, what do you hear most from your customers about your products?
Um, most of my customers love the products.
Mhm.
They because well, a couple of things. First of all, the most important thing is that their pet feels safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the most important aspect.
And do they have a little clip? I feel like I remember that. Is there
Yes,
a
of
yeah.
course, there's
Mhm.
a leash inside to tether
Okay.
them.
Yeah, so that's
Absolutely.
good. Yeah, well, a
Yeah.
lot of people might not realize that, so that's really smart to have that because I don't think all carriers have that little leash that connects. I haven't
Oh.
seen it in everyone, so
Oh,
that's
yeah,
great.
because I have it here in the, sling and in the
Okay.
tote.
Yeah. Okay, that's important. So, what is the most meaningful thing in what you do with a pet with paws?
Well, what's the most meaning well, first of all, I love being creative,
Mhm.
and I feel that I'm offering pet parents and their pets products that they feel good about in
Yeah.
using. I mean, that's the most important thing. I'm offering something that has value.
Yeah. I
You
was gonna
know,
go ahead, sorry.
no, I mean it's the quality is excellent um and it's impacting them because and it's also for certain people, they feel because the carriers are stylish, it also reflects on the owner
Mhm. Yep. Yeah.
because then the owner is also feels like, "Oh, they feel very stylish carrying something that looks like a handbag, but it's not a handbag, it's a pet carrier."
Right, right. So funny. I was gonna ask you what makes your business unique or what makes you stand out, but I think we kinda talked about that, but if you feel like you wanna answer that as well.
No, I think it's basically that, I'm incorporating a lot of fashion with function,
Yes.
and, um, that's I mean, for something just to be pretty, there's no point in it. It
Right.
needs it needs to be functional. Like the training bags are very ergonomic. I mean, everything is in one place, the ball, the poop bags, the treats. So,
Yeah, and I love that you can wrap that over your shoulder because 'cause I'm the
right, you can
type of
wear it on your
person.
shoulder as
Yeah.
a crossbody bag
Yep.
or as a fanny pack, and there's also a clip in the back.
I love that because I don't like to carry anything.
Right.
So, having that bag that goes over the shoulder with everything that you need makes life so much easier when you're walking your dog. And I always think that you should have both your hands free
Right,
when
you
you're
need to be
walking.
hands-free, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Hands
You have too many things going on, you need to put all that stuff in for safety, walking your dog. I know you're in New
right.
York City, so like especially in the city or anywhere where you're walking your dog, it's really
Uh-huh.
important. So let me ask you this, Anne. What is the best piece of advice you have received in your career? It could be pet industry or pre-pet.
Do what you love. Follow
Mm,
your passion. That's basically it.
I
You
love that.
know, that's it. I mean, and set your intention. If you really want to do something, set that as your intention and focus on it and follow through and pursue it.
I love that. That's such great advice. So is there anything else you want to add that I didn't ask you about with a pet with paws?
Well, first of all, if anybody is interested, for the holidays, we're offering a 20%
Ooh,
discount
nice.
on all our products, and we offer free shipping on items over $100. And if you buy a pet carrier, you will receive one of our waste bag pouches
Oh, I
as a
love that.
gift,
That's so nice.
as our gift.
Everybody loves that extra gift when they open the
Right.
bag. That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's really great. So, one other question: Are you going to be at Global? Because I usually see you at Global.
Yeah, I probably will be a global.
Okay.
I've been also thinking about maybe I would like to give Interzoo a shot.
Oh, good. Yeah, that would be good. I've heard great things too. So,
Right.
well, so
So
people can either see you at Global or at Interzoo
right.
in 2024. You cannot miss Anne's booth. It's beautifully done. Like you won't miss it. And if you're in the boutique area or
Right.
the whatever section they call it, depending on the show, you will not miss it because of the way it's done. Whenever I'm like running through the trade show, I always like, oh, there's Anne. I can see you from like down the hall. So it's really great. I really appreciate you being here today. I love that your products are eco-friendly and vegan and saving the environment one pet carry at a time,
That's
right?
right.
Making that
Exactly,
bottle
exactly.
into thread. It's really fascinating.
Mhm.
And I think that anybody that is looking for you, they can go to your website. If you want to
Mhm.
let us know what your website is, that would be great.
Okay, the website is apetwithpaws.com, and we're
Awesome.
on Facebook and Instagram.
So make sure you go to apetwithpaws.com. We'll put those in the comment section. Follow Anne on Facebook and Instagram because you never know. It's June. It's only November. What is coming out next?
Right.
What we're going to see next? What's going on in that
Right, I
fashion?
already have
Yes.
ideas of what I would.
What's going on in that fashion brain? I know the designer. It's really cool, and you're in one of the fashion meccas of the world, right? So I'm sure you get inspired every single day just walking
Mhm,
around, right?
mhm.
Well, Anne, I'm so excited that you were here today and that we got you on to talk about your products. And I hope to see you again soon. I know it was just a couple of weeks ago at the Dog Museum, which was so great to see you
That
there.
was Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah.
I actually, I really I wasn't familiar that there was the dog
Oh,
museum. So
yeah.
I loved being there and seeing all the paintings and everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was there once before, but I'm always happy to go back. It's a fantastic place to go in New York City. A lot of people don't know. It's the AKC Dog Museum, shameless
Mhm,
plug, right by Grand Central Station. So if you are in that area, you should
mhm.
definitely go and check it out. It's really fascinating. If you love dogs, you will love that. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I want to wish everybody a really happy holiday season and a very prosperous new year. We will be back in the new year with new episodes featuring our amazing members like Anne of American Pet Professionals. So I hope you guys all stay safe. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you in the new year. I can't believe we're at 43 episodes already. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Take care.
And
Bye, Anne.
bye, Nancy, and thank you so much for having me. It's really been fun.
My pleasure, right? I appreciate you being here.